Hey, what's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to the Sooner Surge, our 9:30 nightly live show where we engage with viewers through phone calls, through the chat, which you'll see there. Very lively chat of faithful followers here at the Sooner Surge. Thanks for joining us on this magnificent Monday night. It is getting every day we speak on here. This is a fact. I mean, we tell the truth, and this is 100% truth. Every day that we speak on here, it's a day closer to the start of the college football season. SEC Media Days in full swing today. You heard from some of the coaches of some of the teams in the SEC. OU set to take part in that on Wednesday. There were some interesting tidbits from SEC Media Days today, but also OU's roster is up on Soonersports.com. I've typed in several players down on the ticker. You can see it with their weight upgrades. Some who have gained weight, some who have lost some weight. And there's some significant, I think, some things to point out on some of these players, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, Nigel Smith, I see it go across there, 21 pounds up. I saw a Trenton Wilson, I think, is up 13, the freshman.
I can even put him on there, yeah.
Defensive lineman. Stone up to 310. I mean, you're going to look at – a lot of times you're going to look at the linemen, defensive linemen specifically, but – a lot of guys made really good strides. I think of a guy like Torrey Blaylock, freshman running back, up 11 pounds. And I don't know if you've seen any videos of him. He looks really good.
Speaking of up pounds and running the ball, Xavier Robinson goes from 226 to 239.
13 pounds?
Yes. He's going to be an absolute animal with the ball.
And what was Odd up to? What,
Odd's 208, I believe.
208. And hey, everyone listen up. He changed it. He is now number 0. Jaden Ott will be wearing number 0. Manny Choice will be wearing number 21.
Hey, Holland Jackson asked what Hollenbeck's change was. He's 347 right now. I meant to go look up what he was in high school. Fasusi goes from 295 to 309. But here's all I'm saying with all this. I looked at that today, Jay, and started putting these numbers together down on the ticker. I'm more excited about it. I am more excited about this team. I think a big one right there you see on the bottom, Kobe McKenzie goes down to 236. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Kip Lewis goes up big time, Jay. 227 from 215, I think.
But, I don't think you would expect anything else. I mean, if you're doing strength and conditioning, Schmitty's going to have kind of whether you need to go up or down in weight, and he's going to do his best to get you there. And I think you work hard to do it, you'll get there. So
look at Fibechi goes down 13 to 326. Hey, Jay, so just to kind of put this in,
347.
Just to kind of put this in perspective, last year DeJoun Terry started at OU on the D-line at 330. He was that big body in the middle. This year, you got Dominic Williams at 323, Jaden Jackson at 322. Both guys right there sitting in the middle.
Yeah. And you got Stone at 310. I mean, what do you think Nigel Smith? He's up to 290. Where do you see him playing? Edge?
Yeah, I don't see him playing.
No, but when he does, do you see him playing edge?
No, he's going to get more to the middle, Jay.
He's
going to get more to the middle.
Maybe when Halton leaves, you thinking he'll get some run?
Hey, another one on there. Taylor Wine, 276 for the edge. Now,
a lot of people are high on him, Jerm.
Kendall Daniels at 242 is going to play cheetah and linebacker. I tell you what, I don't know how you can't be excited when you see kind of the updates on this.
Yeah, 3-tech, Jimmy says. I'm excited. And 307 for Trent Wilson. I think he's a guy to last year's class that probably didn't get talked about enough. I think he's going to be really good for the Sooners. No, I'm not saying this year, so don't quote me and go plaster it over where the Jason from Sooner Surge said that. I'm not saying this year. I'm just saying down the road.
Yeah, and Joe Russell says he's ready to see Grayson Hall, and I am too. And he's the lightest, one of the lightest of the D linemen. And I think the good thing about that is you've got different types of guys that you're going to be rotating in there. Guys who are going to stuff it, guys who are going to blow by people and use their quickness. Man, I just love what I see, Jay, on this roster that's been put forth today on Soonersports.com. Go check it out. You can go to the 2025 numbers, compare them to last year. Marvin Jones Jr. up 6 or 7. PJ Adebore, 8 pounds from 253 to 261. R. Mason Thomas up 6 or 8 pounds. Yeah. Jaden Ott wearing number 0, Emmanuel Choice going to 21. That's kind of the news as far as the numbers. But, yeah, a lot of good things to be excited about. Schmitty doing his job, it looks like, which a lot of people won't say, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah, you had SEC Media Days, too. I want to talk about SEC Media Days. OU doesn't go off till Wednesday, but it was kind of entertaining today. Just you had Lane Kiffin, who's always entertaining. I think the big kind of, you would say, I wouldn't call it, I mean, nothing's coming from it, but the fact that Lane Kiffin brings up about Nick Saban getting back into the coaching. You had Greg McElroy say he thinks he's going to get back into coaching. All over Twitter tonight, you have Arkansas saying he's going to be the next coach at Arkansas. LSU saying next coach at LSU. Auburn saying next coach at Auburn. Hey, down the road, never know. I mean, who knows? I think it's crazy that somebody puts it out there and it's like everybody thinks he's going to be their next coach.
Here's what I would say. If something was to happen, and they got rid of BV, has a bad year, if your first call isn't Nick Saban, you're idiotic. Now, 918, I'm going to do a little.
Hey, real quick, I think I'm looking at your numbers. Or I think your numbers are from fall to fall, maybe, not spring to fall, right?
I went from roster size last year, correct?
Correct. So just so everybody knows
what they played at last year to what they will play at this year.
Okay, I just want to clarify that because there was a spring update too, and I think some people are getting it confused. Now I wasn't sure what you put in there, but yeah, I think it's.
What do you mean some people? What do you mean some people?
Well, I saw 918 saying, "Is this accurate?"
Foji didn't play last year, though. He was the high school kid.
I'm not talking about Foji. I'm just saying, Jeremy, in general. I was just wondering where you took the stats from.
I took spring to fall. Playing weight last year to playing weight this year. That's exactly what I did. If everyone wants to know, Foji, it wasn't spring to summer, Jackson. I didn't do that. Okay, I took playing weight last year to playing weight this year for an accurate kind of idea of what they played at and what they'll be at this year. Jay, Foji on his recruits, I saw some at 275. That's what I put in there. It's hard to tell on a high school kid. So,
yeah. What was Hollenbeck when he came into Norman?
I didn't get a chance. I was typing up.
I'm sure somebody knows in the chat.
Someone put it in there, yeah.
What was his weight in high school? Who knows that? Because 347, dang, bro. That's big.
Yeah.
You know, one of the ones that really surprised me too, Grayson Halton. I mean,
yeah, I don't have him in there.
292, which was 284, I think, maybe in the spring. He's 292 now.
And he's still on the light end for all the D tackles.
Correct.
So,
what do you think about Jaden Ott? We're number 0. Going to remind you of Eric Gray a little bit?
Yeah, he's.
How many running backs?
There's one difference between Ott and Gray. What I would say. Did you watch the home run derby tonight?
Oh, don't even bring that up.
I don't want to bring it up, but Jay,
don't.
There's a difference in Gray versus Ott. You know what I'm getting ready to say.
One can do the home run, make it go the distance.
Gray was not a home run threat. It was my one criticism of him.
Hey, Jerm.
He was not a home run threat. Jaden Ott can make house calls all night long.
Hey, by the way, the home run derby, awful.
Oh, it's
the
horrible. Broadcast,
awful. The fact, I'm sorry. Do you know what I like about the home run derby? The point of a home run derby is to see a guy smash a ball 500 feet. The fact that you can't see the ball travel, it's a video game looking screen where you see, like if you're playing MLB The Show and you see this little laser going out there, you can't actually, you remember when McGuire and them were in it, you saw the ball flying over the Fenway, over the monster. I mean, the camera work, all of it's bad. They're making it more like a video game. It's awful. I don't think I'll watch it next year. It's too bad. Too bad.
Turpin says Fasusi might be an athletic Orlando Brown. I think Orlando Brown was pretty athletic. But another guy who's playing tackle, Jay, who went down in weight, Derek Simmons.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe Derek Simmons went down from last year. So
And Everett went up.
Everett went up 5, which is great for a center. You got to, and I don't have a couple of new linemen on there, but
what's the biggest crowd silencing play for OU in an opponent's stadium?
a tutty.
Well, I think
Any
he's saying
touchdown.
I think he's saying particular, any specific play. I mean,
Well, the Nick Benito interception and Baylor silenced it.
Yeah, that might
Hey,
be.
Chester, I saw something on this. So first Murray type back since Mixon, if he stays healthy, gets to 9-3. I mean, thanks. There was talk. I read an article. I believe it was John Hoover that put it out, talking about the specialists at OU. I don't know if you read this, Jay. John Hoover put an article out talking about the special teams. Specifically, one thing he mentioned was Jay Knott, who's had a knack for really returning kicks. Great kickoff returner, but doesn't know if DeMarco Murray will allow him to do that because of course, the hamstring injury that DeMarco Murray's trained. Where? Running kicks back. I'm not running Jay Knott kicks. He's not running kicks back if I'm OU. They got plenty of dudes who can specialize in that.
Yeah, I would. I don't think I'd risk it either with the amount of injuries I've had lately. There's been some good silenced crowd plays putting in here. You had the Torrance Marshall interception, Baker to Sermon, and then last year the Kit pick six, probably a big crowd silencer last year there at Auburn.
Joe, I know he was the lightest one last year too. I agree. I think it's good to have different types of guys in there.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think he's bigger. What was Eric Gray's size?
Eric Gray was probably 210.
Was he about odd size? I thought he was smaller.
No, I believe he was 210. Tatum right now is 212. I still can't believe X-Rob. 13 pounds from what he played at last year.
Yeah, and I agree with Jimmy big time here. He's really good at returning kicks. He needs to be the guy. I mean, he's a specialist. I consider him.
He's a punt returner.
When was the last time they had a defensive
I nailed
guy?
it. 210. I nailed it right on the number, Jay.
You know what's crazy is you look at it over the last few years. I think that's a disappointment. Punt return and kick return. Every year it seems like hot take is Peyton Bowen's going to run 2 punts back or Billy Bowman's going to run punts back. I don't think the punt return and kick return game's been good.
Have you figured something out in college athletics, Jay?
Well, you don't get very many chances. I know.
No one does it anymore. The punters are putting them way higher with hang time.
Then why even put somebody back there?
Kickoffs are going through the uprights. Like it's just a lost art, man.
I kind of agree with that, but I'm just saying.
No, Eric Gray is not, was not, will never be. It was my one criticism, and people said I hated him because of it, and that's just a bad take.
Pitt punt.
Peyton Bowen. Get Peyton Bowen back.
Put Peyton Bowen back at trying to block the punt. Yeah. I think he does, doesn't he? Or sometimes he tries to return him. I don't know.
No, he's been returned. No, he's saying go block punts. Not.
I know what he's saying.
He doesn't, Jay. He's been returning. That's it.
Yeah. Anything from media days today surprise you or anything? You get Greg Sankey talk, but nothing just wild out there. I mean,
you had
Lane Kiffin being
Diego
Lane
Pavia
Kiffin.
talking about he came back to win a natty. I thought that was laughable. That was just funny, even though he was dead serious.
I missed that. What'd you say?
Vanderbilt quarterback talked about, the reason he came back is to win a natty.
I did see that. He's getting ripped for it too. He's getting
Come on, man.
He's getting ripped. G Freaky.
I remember G Freaky running his first punt back for a tutty, and then after that didn't look like he knew what he was doing back there.
Look at that. Good Finch. Roy Finch. I was a big Roy Finch guy. You weren't. I liked Roy Finch.
Yeah, he never did anything, Jay. He was average at best.
Looked like he's ready for the prom.
You can see the playing weights there on the bottom of your screen, the ticker coming across. Check out some of the playing weights they're in. They're up on Soonersports.com. Check out the playing weights and the current roster for OU. It is getting closer, ladies and gentlemen, to the first game of the year, August 30th against Illinois State. Hey, it's time to open the phone lines. We're going to open them up. I want you to go to thefanstop.com, okay, thefanstop.com, and check out the Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE, get 10% off your first 3 months. Do it by July 20th, and you'll get that shirt that's on your screen, as well as a welcome shirt to the Welcome Shirt of the Month Club. So do it, thefanstop.com. Find the package that's best for you.
That's right. Was that phone ringing?
Yeah. Sister's calling, Jay.
If you could pencil in a for sure W this year in 3 games, what should you choose? 3 games. Give me the 3 games. Which 3 games are you asking about, Colin? Is there a specific 3 games you're asking about? Because I'm kind of confused there. Or you want me to pick the 3 games or what? Going to change subject some. I don't think our second will have to be as good. D-line will be chasing quarterback. Secondary will have to be as good. D-line will be chasing quarterback all year. Yeah, that helps, Joe. But at the same time, most teams these days, you can kind of combat that a little bit by getting rid of the ball quick and throwing quick passes. You can kind of get, kind of battle a defensive line by doing that. Yeah, there you go. So 3 games. Colin, what kind of question are you asking? Of course, these would be the 3 games. I'm confused. I'm very confused. I think the question was if you could pencil in a for sure W. Yeah, Jackson nailed it. Illinois State, Temple, and K-State. Now, are you talking SEC? Or are you talking about just random games? Because that would be the 3. 918 says, Jackson, listen, that's the 3 right there. LSU, Bama, South Carolina. Oh, and the SEC. Okay. 3 W's in the SEC. I go Missouri. I'd probably go Missouri. Ole Miss at home. Which other one would I go? Missouri, Ole Miss, Auburn. Those 3. Missouri, Ole Miss, Auburn are my 3. Jackson says the same thing. Auburn, Missouri, and Ole Miss. I bet 90% of the people would say the same thing. So.
918 says, I don't think there are for sure W's in the SEC. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I just missed because I was on the phone, Jay, but if Missouri's about as close as a for sure W as there should be.
Auburn? What about Auburn?
Missouri more so than Auburn. Auburn at least is going to have dudes in the trenches.
Yeah, that's fair.
Missouri. To me, Missouri is much more of a you could chalk up as a win over Auburn. I think Missouri's probably if there was one to pick, it would be Missouri for me.
Yeah, but
Missouri trenches, Jay.
Missouri should have been winning last year. I mean, to be quite honest with you, it should have.
And I think Ole Miss at home.
Chad says, "What's up, Chad?" It says Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU. Stone freshman All-American, redshirt freshman All-American. Hot take from Chester tonight. Can he do what Jaden Jackson did last year? Now, you would think that's true. He didn't red. Yeah, did he? Did he play 4 games? He might have. He didn't. So he'd be a sophomore, Chester. He'd be a sophomore. So sophomore All-American. There you go. Hot take. Sophomore All-American. My buddy Dave is a blogger for ESPN. Said Arkansas. Is there a place in Fayetteville I can go when I'm there? Sports. I don't know. I don't do betting, so I wouldn't know Sooner Thrawn. Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to pick Missouri and Ole Miss over LSU, Alabama, or Tennessee. I mean, just with the talent. Phone lines should be open. I believe Hunter dropped them in there. I heard Jeremy say that, but I don't know if they're in there or not. We'll drop them in there. There it is right there. Phone lines if you'd like to talk. Give us a holla. Peter, I'm not going to say that. Hope kicking is better. Kicking has to be better. Devin has to be better. Got a caller on the line. We got Platone on the line. Platone, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, I actually wanted to bring up something that Chester said earlier in the chat that was a really good point. He said earlier on that he was, forgive me if I butcher this, Chester, but something to the extent that he was disappointed because it's been 25 years too long for an OU national championship and 15 should be about the max. And he's absolutely correct about that. And I was looking back at the history. I hate to be a down here, but assuming we don't win it this year, it'll be 25 years since we won the last one, which puts us at the longest drought for a national title since 1950. So anyways, hopefully we can correct that soon. But I thought that was a good point, Chester. We actually, I think there was some early on in the early 1900s that were disputed that we claimed to. I'm not sure about those, like 1915 or something like that, before AP polls and all that stuff came out. So it goes back even further if you look at those disputed titles back in the days before the AP polls and all that kind of stuff came out. Anyways, hopefully we'll be able to turn around, but I thought it just kind of puts things in perspective a little bit.
It really does. And you think about it, I know I'm not comparing them, so don't just please hear me out. I'm not comparing OU and Nebraska, but when did Nebraska win their last one? What year in the 90s was it? Do you remember?
Was it 96 or 97?
96, maybe. I can't remember, but the difference is OU has still been good. They've been playoffs. They just have not. They've won them championship games. They just have not won it. But I'm just saying, in drought-wise, for a big-time program, that's a long time, 25 years. It's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Now, I just think that now with the playoffs, it's harder than it used to be, right? Because back then you could have multiple teams holding national titles because the polls are split and all that stuff. All that stuff's gone away. And the more teams get added, it's going to make the path harder. So I think all the programs are going to have even Ohio State, I don't think is going to, run off, is going to have a hard time running off, multiple NCs within a.
Agree.
So I think it's going to be harder for everybody, not just us. But anyways, I think it's going to be, I think, hard for to go through multiple playoff runs and win multiple natties in a row or form dynasty type things. I mean, I'm sure there will be occasionally a dynasty like that, but I just don't see it happen as much. There's also one thing that's good for us too is it keeps our 47 game win streak intact because that'll never be broken with all these playoffs.
That's not going to be broken. I'm with you.
Not going to be broken. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Platone. Appreciate it.
Jay, someone asked about Xavier Robinson. It was 6 foot, 226 last year. This year he's up to 239. And Jay, I'm going to have to. I sent you a message, but
I haven't looked at it.
All right.
What?
I said, all right. I sent you a message, but I'm going to head out.
Okay. All right.
Well, I was going to do it before the next call gets on here.
What happened? I don't know what. Something just happened. Okay, there we are. We're back. Let me get to Jackson. Jackson's on the line. What's up, Jackson? You there? Jackson, you there? Hello.
Yeah, I can
All right,
hear you guys
man.
now. For some reason, the audio was lost for a second. I had to leave. I wasn't sure why. But yeah, I don't know if you saw my comment earlier, but about the recruiting class, Jay. I think it's been very disappointing. I know a lot of OU fans would agree with that. I know that was a talk earlier on the Discord a little bit. Mez, I did see this that Bo Bentley is ranked number 4. But I think, we talked about Emmett Jones being this elite recruiter at wide receiver. That's the one thing he had came in and done super, super good up to this point was recruit wide receivers to Oklahoma. And you look at this point in the class and, you lose Jordan Clay and Dallas Dickerson and Zachary Turner to other schools, which were your main targets, and all you have is Daniel Odom in the class right now. And I just think that really at corner it hasn't been as good as Jay Valai's done. Um, at safety, it's not as good as it has been under Brandon Hall. So I don't know if that's just
Let me ask you this.
Oklahoma. Yeah,
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you saw Teddy Lehman on the breakdown talking about wide receivers. He was talking about how he thinks you can get guys out of the portal at wide receiver value and over a high school guy. I wonder if just their thought process has changed a little bit on some of those position groups, and maybe they are going to get more of those guys out of the portal than they have in years past. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Could that be something? I don't know. I mean, I thought last year's wide receiver class, with Elijah Thomas and some of those guys was pretty good. So this year it just hasn't. Now you got Grossi out there though, which would be a big get.
Yeah, Gross.
Yeah.
Damian Gross would be a huge get. I've compared him to Debo Samuel, plays running back, plays wide receiver, more of a little bit like he kind of has the Debo Samuel build, a little bit more physically build. Emmett Jones is not an elite recruiter. His best recruit to OU is Zion Kearney, but wasn't Zion Kearney like a top 80, top 70 recruit in the nation, if I remember correctly?
I'm not sure where he was ranked exactly.
So, but okay, maybe I shouldn't have used elite recruiter, but he's been a pretty good recruiter since he's came to Oklahoma.
So what are your thoughts on Emmett Jones?
He's unproven as a developer up to this point because he hasn't put anyone in the
We're talking about recruiting though. What are your thoughts on him as a recruiter?
I think he's a good recruiter. He hasn't landed the big fish yet. Kind of like that 5-star guy. Like Oklahoma, before he came there, they had Simmons and they were landing like CeeDee Lamb. You talk about at one point in the class before Lincoln Riley left, they had Brandon Ennis, Makai Lemon. They were gonna have Zachariah Branch as well. So like he hasn't gotten his 5-star guy yet. So I think he's been good, but I think Oklahoma, like Emmett Jones hasn't landed his just like coveted, nationally known, just like 5-star guy yet. I think that's whenever I guess that's all he needs to do, in my opinion, is land that. In my opinion, to become an elite recruiter, I should have used a good recruiter.
Well, you have to have a really good offense for that too, and
right.
Quite frankly, I don't know what you expect Emmett Jones to do this year with how bad the offense was last year at wide receiver and all the issues they had. Now, I don't think he, like you said, he hasn't gotten the guy in the few years he's been there as far as like the guy out of the recruiting class. But
yeah,
so
and I do think he has a chance if Deion Marks has a great year, he has a chance to be a second, third round pick, potentially even a first round pick if he has an amazing year, and that would help Emmett Jones a lot, in my opinion. Just seeing that Deion Burks was with him for 2 years, he helped him get to the NFL and stuff. Giovanni Gibson, if he's back by week 1, I think there's a chance he's a legit NFL guy with the size and the athleticism he has. He just hasn't proven it at the SEC level. So I think that there's a chance, you have one to two guys that go to the NFL. But yeah, I just think this class, Jay, it's been underwhelming. I think whenever you asked me back in before probably spring ball ended where I thought this class would end up, I said between 8 and 12, I believe. I would be shocked if it finishes in the top 15 at this point. I really would.
They got a lot of work. They got a lot of work to do to finish there, but we'll see. Still got time. That's the thing. We'll see what happens. Hey, appreciate it, Jackson. Thanks, man. Thanks for calling in. We'll get to next caller as well. We got Colin on the line. What's up, Colin?
What's up? Can you hear me?
What's up, man?
Just waiting for football season to come back in full swing.
Needs to get here soon, man. Needs to get here soon.
I know I mentioned my question wrong earlier, but I was more going on if you could SEC wise go in and get for sure W's in places or in games, what would you choose?
Say that
Like,
again. Repeat that.
like, would you go in, like, for me, I would pencil, if I could, hopefully pencil Texas as a win. If I could automatically just choose wins.
Well,
Just,
if I automatically could choose wins, I'd pick the hardest games. I'd pick Texas. I'd pick Alabama. I'd pick LSU.
yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't you? I mean, that to me would be what I would do is I'd go to the games that wouldn't be a guarantee like a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, you think the toughest games, that's where I'd put those wins. But
Do you think we have a lot of close wins and losses this
I
year?
think there's a
And,
lot
like,
of games. I think there's a lot of games this year decided by 7 points or less. But
Yeah.
that's not really going on a limb because it's been that way for the last few years.
Yeah, because it reminds me of Dylan Gabriel and Jeff Levy that year, those 2 years where, like, there's 2 games we lost where there's barely at the end, and it's just 2 games that could have gone different way. But yeah, like, the biggest thing I'm still questioning is, like, I know he's going to be a good offense coordinator, but I just feel like I have to see it up against, like, SEC, because, like, that's this in the back of my head is like, yes, we can look at all the highlights from Washington State and how he did there, like Ben Arbuckle, but SEC is a different animal. You got a lot more heavier, talented people.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to see what he can do in the SEC. I'm pretty optimistic. I'm pretty confident, optimistic. I think their offense is going to be good this year. I really do.
At the end of the day, if you look at, like, statistic wise, like, a scheme can be good against, like, any defense. It's just how to adjust the scheme.
Yeah, the scheme should work. I mean, I'm not, and I think John Mateer. I mean, I don't know if you saw today, SEC Media Days. Jordan Rogers there at SEC Network. He's got John Mateer ranked one notch ahead of Arch Manning. I think Paul Feinbaum was shocked by that from when he was on with him today.
That's where a lot of people are coming for, like, John Mateer is they haven't seen him do it in the SEC, and they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, G5's nothing." But I think Giovanni Gibson, who came from a lower school, is going to be good. Like, I think people sleep a little too much on lower people coming up from a lower conference.
Okay, but name a guy at Oklahoma that they've got from a smaller school that's in the last few years that you say has panned out really good.
I mean, I think if I'm not wrong, I think Ramondre Stevenson came from a JUCO.
JUCO. But I'm talking the last few years in the portal from small schools. Name a guy that, in your opinion, has just been really good.
I'm trying to think.
And that's why I asked it, because I think that's why there's fans that are a little hesitant, is because there hasn't been a whole lot of those guys that have just, other than Dolby was a JUCO as well, though, Benjamin. I'm talking about from a smaller college that has come into Oklahoma and just turned heads. And I think that might be why some fans are like, here we go again. But I agree with you on Gibson. I think Gibson has every part of being a really good wide receiver. I do. But I am still hesitant on all those guys that come from those schools because it's different. You know, we talked about it for years, Colin, how, you know, when OU is in the Big 12, the SEC, it's not, OU could be fine. OU be fine in the SEC. It's no big deal. It is the competition, the talent, it's another level.
And that's the other thing I feel like people are sleeping on, at least this year's OU team, is they're looking at, like, the QB possibly, because we don't know fully John Mateer. I still think he's going to be one of the better QBs in the SEC. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on our wide receivers. I think they're going to be sneaky good with Mateer back there.
I think the wide receivers could be sneaky good. I kind of agree with you, Colin.
I think with Burks last year coming out of the portal was one of the best receivers at Purdue.
Yeah, we don't know on him because he got injured too. I mean, but I think if he had a good offense, he was going to be really good.
I mean, from the games we've seen Burks play here, like, I think it was like first game he played, he had like 4 touchdowns from Arnold.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hey, and then lastly,
yeah,
I'll say it was funny watching SEC Media Day, LSU, because, of course, Brian Kelly went on this whole 10, 15, 20-minute talk. But I think only mention of OU today was Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah, I
mentioning
saw
how they
that.
still clown Bauer Sharp for trying to throw that. But it's
Yeah.
kind of funny how he knew how Garrett was like, yeah, he's not a QB. It's like Garrett
Yeah.
knows that, but I guess our offensive coordinator back then didn't know that.
No, they didn't know that. They didn't
Because
know
that
that.
had to be a design play. There's no way
Oh, it was a design
if
play.
that was like a jet sweep, if you're getting tackled, you just throw it up. Like,
Well, he wasn't supposed to just chunk it like he did, but yeah. Hey, thanks, Colin. Thanks for the call,
right.
man. Appreciate you. Breaking news. Breaking news. The University of Oklahoma has broken its previous fundraising record with over $352 million. I saw that today, Mess. I did see that. So yeah, that's good. Madrano, what's up, Madrano? Says Giovanni Gibson was at Arkansas Pine Bluff because he got in with the wrong crowd, not because of lack of talent. And I agree. I'm not saying, and hear me, I am not saying he's not talented. I'm just saying I think that's why a lot of fans are hesitant with some of these guys from those schools, because you haven't had many that have done like turned heads when they've gotten there. I love Giovanni Gibson. I think he's really good. Now, if you talk about just in general guys from smaller schools going into bigger schools and doing good, there's been a lot of them. I mean, Alabama's had a handful. You can go down the list of other teams that have. So I'm not saying it can't work out. I'm just saying there's people that are hesitant because of that. Yeah, I'm going to vouch for Wrights too, Peter, David. Wrights is really good. I mean, before I moved to Arkansas, I really liked me some Burnco in Tulsa. If anybody's in the 918, you know what Burnco barbecue is. I really liked Burnco, but I really like Wrights. I think I'd put Wrights maybe a notch above that. They're both really good, maybe pretty equal, but yeah, really good barbecue. Let's see here. Let me get some of these. Arkansas wide receiver had 40 catches and 500 yards. Yeah, I think Satania is going to be good. He's going to be a good wide receiver at Oklahoma. Hey, let's face facts. Brennan Thompson. I mean, we can sit here and talk about guys from smaller schools. Brennan Thompson came from the University of Texas. He didn't pan out. So at Oklahoma, he didn't. So it doesn't matter where you get the kids from. It does not matter if they're a smaller school or bigger school. All that matters is they're good and they perform and they produce. And I'm waiting to see if they produce before I jump on any limb. But I do think some of these guys that they got are decent at wide receiver. And I think that when you put them pair them with a good offense and a good quarterback, and I think they can be a good unit. And then that's what I'm hoping for this year. Their blocking downfield has to be better than it's been. I don't think since Drake Stoops left, I don't think the blocking's been very good. Well, you had injuries last year because I think Jaden Gibson can block. But so hey, let me update you, I guess, on Jeremy. Jeremy kind of he had to leave real quick. He got a phone call. It was an issue with our dad. He's I think being taken to the hospital. I think everything's gonna be okay, but just kind of not quite sure. So Jerm didn't really say, but I'm just gonna say it because it was kind of just like boom, he was out. So yeah, so that's the issue. So Jerm went ahead and drove up there. So yeah, just keep them in your prayers for sure. Thank you guys. Appreciate that very much. 918 Hookem, Jimmy, thank y'all. Dolby. Yeah, Dolby came from a JUCO. I'm anxious to see Dolby. And you know, the guy for OU that might, I don't know if under the radar is the right term. I think maybe a guy that has the biggest thing to prove at the University of Oklahoma this year. I'm going to let you try to guess it. And this is Jason's opinion. So you're going to have to try to guess what I'm feeling. And that's true. Colden was good. The guy I'm thinking that I think might have the most to prove at Oklahoma in 2025, and bingo, Mez got it. Gentry Williams. In fact, I saw a quote from him saying he hears all the noise. He hears it all about will he be able to stay healthy. I think he has a lot to prove. And if he's healthy, I think because he's been so injured, people including me, kind of just like, well, we'll see what happens, because that's what I do. But if he's healthy, he's the best defensive back, in my opinion. Go back to when he was a freshman. When he was healthy, he was really good. He made a lot of plays, interceptions, tackles, but you got to be healthy. And your best ability, as Brent says, is your availability. Brent Venables says that. In fact, I would go ahead and maybe tomorrow night we'll do this. I want to do this tomorrow night. We're going to do some friendly little a game of what quote will Brent Venables use on Wednesday at Media Day. That one will be in there. Mark it down. Brent Venables press conference. Your best ability is your availability. I think that'll be said on Wednesday. But yeah, so Wednesday, OU Media Days is happening. Wednesday, Brent Venables, I think, is the last to hit the podium that day. He follows Jeff Levy, I believe. So, but it was entertaining today. I thought it was entertaining today. Anytime you get Lane Kiffin in front of the cameras, it's entertaining. How deep do you think we are at corner? I think we're deep. Deep doesn't always necessarily mean a good deep. The way I'm saying that is, Dalpos, I think we're deep as far as we got guys, but do we have guys that can come in and just be game changers? That's what you got to. I am really high on Jacoby Johnson. I know a lot of you guys aren't. I am. And I'm going to continue to say it. I'm going to stick by my guns. I'm going to stick by what I watched in high school. I'm going to stick by what he did his freshman year to kind of move up the depth chart. I'm going to forget what he did last year when they moved him to receiver. I'm going to wash it. I'm going to flush it. I'm sticking with Jacoby Johnson. Has a very high ceiling at defensive back for Oklahoma. Okay? Come at me. If you don't like it, that's fine. I think he does. And they got some young guys younger than him, true freshmen that are really good. Devin Jordan, trying to remember, did he redshirt last year? I think he did. I like Devin Jordan a lot. Now, I watched him play at Tulsa Union. The guy was a lockdown. The guy locked down cornerback. So I'm high on him as well. Yeah, don't jinx Gentry, Jason. Maybe I already did. I hope not. Arch needs to learn to be a pocket passer, but O-line rebuild. Well, guys, it's my last shot, Devin. So we're already dropping them. Look at this. Brent Venables all in, baby. We'll have to do this tomorrow night, too, because there'll be a lot of good ones, I'm sure. But there it is. Texas sucks, Sooner Cowboy says, with the laughing emoji. I'm with you, Sooner Cowboy. I'm with you. In fact, I got my hat here. By the way, we haven't really mentioned it. I think Jerm did earlier. Check out the Fan Stop right there. TheFanStop.com. Code SURGE. You can get 10% off your first 2 months of the shirt of the month. Also, you can buy hats like this. You're not going to find this hat anywhere else. Only at TheFanStop.com. Check them out. Locally owned, great people. TheFanStop.com. Trivia, Dalpos asked. Ooh, this is going to be tough. I didn't come up with trivia yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and do one off the top of my head with my Oklahoma knowledge. Okay? And I think I know the answer, Hunter. Please verify if I'm wrong. But I want to know, we are 47 days away from OU football. Give me the tight end at Oklahoma that I'm thinking of that wore number 47. I think he's even been on the Sooner Surge before. I think we had him on as a special guest last year. If that gives it away, it probably does. But I think I'm right on this number. Sorry, Dalpos. Had to do it off the top of my head tonight. Madrano's got 8-4. I'm waiting for the answer here. See if anybody knows it. I'm sure somebody will get it pretty quick. There it is. I believe Dalpos got it. Trent Rattery. Hunter, please verify that I'm correct on that number. But I believe I am. Yeah, right now, OU in July hasn't been a great July for recruiting. They got to turn it up a notch. And let's hope they do down the stretch. A topic I want to talk about tomorrow night. Maybe we'll talk about it here for the next 5 minutes. Okay. There is one thing that has totally surprised me at Oklahoma under Brent Venables. All right. Dalpos was correct. Good job, Dalpos. This is my hot take. Biggest surprise that I've witnessed under Brent Venables as a head coach at Oklahoma. See if anybody can get the same thing that I'm guessing here. Yeah, I'll just go and say it. You're not going to guess it. You might, but my biggest surprise with Brent Venables as head coach has been Oklahoma not landing 5-star linebacker. It shocked me that they have not landed a 5-star linebacker. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. I don't know. But you have one of the best linebacker coaches proven in the game as the head coach. Now, granted, they had some of those guys already there when he was there. So, but like last year, didn't get one. This year, doesn't look like you're going to. I'm surprised. I thought they've done really good at D-line with Bates. I think everybody thought they would. But I thought Brent Venables, just being the head coach, people would be like, okay, I'm going there to play for him as a 5-star linebacker. Sean agrees. Dapo says he's surprised. Met says, Jay, it's absolutely shocking. Okay, good. And that's probably been the biggest surprise to me as him being the head coach at Oklahoma, is that specific thing. Because that would be like, I mean, you could almost compare it like Lincoln Riley not getting any quarterbacks. Am I right? Or is that a bad take? I mean, Lincoln Riley coaches and develops quarterbacks. Brent Venables coaches and develops linebackers. Hey, Jimmy, I understand maybe the linebacker coach, but Brent Venables is the linebacker coach. You don't need a guy when you got Brent. So I just think that kind of recruits itself. But anyway, that's kind of my take to close it tonight is I thought linebacking recruiting would be better. And I don't think it's been just bad. I'm just saying like getting the 5-star dude, like the guy that went to Clemson last year, Sammy Brown, like somebody like that. Did he have a 5-star linebacker at Clemson? Daniel's asking. I'm not sure. Trenton Simpson for sure. What about the guy that went to the NFL, Isaiah Simmons? Was he recruited as a linebacker? I'm not quite sure if he was. They moved him to linebacker, but 918 also says Barrett Carter. But you know, when he was at Oklahoma, the first go around as a defensive coordinator, who was his, you guys would know this because you guys are awesome in the chat. You guys are big time OU people fans and you know it. But who was his highest recruited Oklahoma linebacker when he was there the first go around? Who was his highest ranked recruit? Teddy Lehman wasn't a huge star. Austin Box. That's probably right, 918. I think you're right. I shouldn't doubt you. I'm just saying 918. I think you're right. Maybe Austin Box. And he was a local guy out at Enid, I believe. So I don't know. I don't think Ryan Reynolds is high. Now, Caleb Kelly was high as well. That's a good one, Robert. Man, I knew you guys would tear it up in here with these. Torrance Marshall, JUCO guy. Jeremy, I'm talking about out of high school. Ryan Reynolds, Jimmy says we got 2 for Ryan. I don't know what Ryan Reynolds was ranked out of high school. I know Caleb Kelly was pretty high. But now 918 says he wasn't there for Kelly. Okay, he was already gone. So there you go. Nix Caleb Kelly on that one. So it would be Austin Box. Now, Mess is saying Ryan Reynolds was 5 stars. Now, I would be surprised if he was a 5-star, but I don't follow it as closely as some of you guys. He might have been. He definitely might have been. So who knows? But hey, good way to end the show tonight. I like this kind of discussion. Maybe we'll carry it on tomorrow night. Come with your quotes that Brent Venables might say on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, we'll be talking about that. Hey, once again, I can't thank you guys enough for being on here with me and Jeremy tonight. Truly is a cool community. Be able to talk football every night of the week at 9:30, and it couldn't happen without you in the chat. You guys run it. You guys help us decide what to talk about. You guys are full of information. You guys answer questions. Really appreciate it. So thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night at 9:30. Thanks, guys. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go see. I won't be able to drive there, but I'll be on the phone with Jeremy, see what's going on. But I think everything's going to be okay. But I think he had maybe fell and has to get some stitches. I'm not quite sure. But appreciate you guys. We will see you tomorrow night on the next edition of Sooner Surge Live. Have a good night.